Welcome to the Sports Card Talk Show. Sports Card Talk Show with Kevin Anderson and Lauren Walker, the Skull Brothers.
Welcome to episode 131 of the Sports Card Talk Show. We got Friday Night Lights interview tonight.
Super Jack, man.
Yeah.
JT Strosnick. He's an associate product manager at Upper Deck, company.
Yeah. Spit that one out, huh? Yeah,
I wanted to say hockey but we all know it's hockey. So.
Yeah. We caught him on Instagram Live talking about Engrained hockey, and I just kind of reached out, and he said sure he'd come on, and there's a couple other projects he's responsible for, so he's nice enough to come on and talk about it. And we're actually going to open one of the products.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to see. It just Upper Deck hockey is on a class all of its own. So
so we're going to open Stature hockey, and that's his product. He's responsible for it. Got to give a shout out to our local card shop, the Collector's Connection. Been in business for 38 years. And I do remember going down there. Must have been when they first opened, because I was only 10 or 11 probably at the time. And I was talking to him about it and saying, hey, I remember coming down here sitting on your floor, going through binders. And he's like, oh, yeah, yep, we let everybody do that. So, it was just fun to talk.
Collector's Corner, and you always like to correct me.
I know. But went up and talked to him, and they had it in stock, and I've got to support the local card shop so we can, for sure. A little trivia, and then we'll dial them up.
Let's do it, man.
All right. In case you're new to the channel, you got to know Minnesota sports trivia game. Test Lauren's knowledge.
Please no. North Stars hockey.
Who served as North Stars GM from 1978 through 1988 after spending the previous 10 years on the club's blue line? It's pretty easy, actually, if you think about it.
78 to 88, he served as their general manager?
Yep. After spending the previous 10 years on the club's blue line.
You say that's easy, like I should know it, and I don't. So that means he played on the team in the 70s. I'm going to say, I don't know.
Lou Nanny.
Oh, dude. That's the one guy's name that was like,
sometimes you just got to say it, man.
No, I couldn't think of his name, but
okay.
I could hear him on the radio.
All right, well, let's do one more hockey question. What 1982 North Stars second overall draft pick won a Stanley Cup in 1993, his first season after being traded from Minnesota to Montreal? That would be kind of tough. We were only like 10 at the time.
But he won it in 93 with Montreal.
Yep.
But he played with
he was the second overall draft pick for the North Stars in 1982, but he was traded to Montreal.
Does it say when he was traded to Montreal?
No. It must have been by the next season. His first season after being traded from Minnesota to Montreal.
Okay, so he played 10 years with the Stars and then got traded to them. I don't know.
Brian Bellows.
Oh.
In round 17 of the 1978 MLB draft, the Twins selected Minneapolis native Kent Herbeck out of which local high school?
I just want to say Bloomington High School.
Kennedy High School.
Bloomington.
It says Bloomington, so Bloomington, I don't know, Kennedy. All right. For what AL team did Harmon Killebrew finish out his MLB career, hitting 14 home runs in 1975?
Kansas City Royals.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
It was a little bit tougher on the trivia today.
Ugh.
I might have looked through and made sure there was a couple North Star questions on there for the hockey episode.
Gun.
Should we dial up JT?
Ring-a-ling-ding-dong.
All right, we got JT dialed up. How you doing tonight, JT?
Good. How you guys doing? Pleasure to be on tonight.
We're doing great. Yeah, we're doing good, man. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
why don't you take a minute and tell everybody who you are and what you do, and maybe go into your background on collecting a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm JT Strosnick. Currently, I'm a product manager at Upper Deck. Work on a variety of the hockey products. I kind of started at Upper Deck with some little obscure stuff, CFL, Team Canada Juniors, before I worked my way up to the studs like Ultimate Collection and Engrained and whatnot. But just being an Upper Deck, it's quite a lot. I build the products mathematically. Then also kind of figure out what I want them to look like and work with their designers to achieve that. And there's always a lot of components to what goes into building cards. Obviously memorabilia and autographs and stuff like that. But the actual logistics of getting the materials and printing the cards. So there's a lot of cost that goes into that we got to balance out. It's it's really interesting. You see a lot of the cards, and you might see a basic card and think, oh, that's a throwaway card. That's a 50-cent card, and it's actually surprising once I got on the other end of it. And it's like, wow, that 60-cent card that you're thinking throw away, that actually costs $3 or $4 to make. Yep. So just little finite costs like that, it's really eye-opening and really unbelievable to see and be on the back end of it.
Yeah, I know. As far as like the memorabilia and stuff, I know talking to some people, they really like how I think one of the series had banners and they could tell you what stadium it was in and all that. That's just really cool. And I can't imagine the process of getting that material and sourcing it and stuff.
Yeah, we have a staff that kind of acquires and reviews our memorabilia and prepares it and cuts it and however we want to format it for our cards and in our other pieces. It's really funny you mentioned the banner. Some years ago, we were actually at our facility, a group of product managers, myself, Billy Celio, and Tony Steriani. We were down at our facility, and they kind of surprised us, and were like, hey, you guys are going to help us cut one of these Stadium Series banners. And we were like, oh, cool, that's awesome, right? At first, you're like, oh, my God, that's great. And then we go out into the parking lot and unroll this behemoth. And it was tricky because, obviously there were certain parts of it that we wanted to cut. And it was just really interesting to actually be a part of it and see how big they were. But, yeah, we have a lot of cool pieces, a lot of different memorabilia we've been thrown in. I know recently in Engrained we had carbon fiber pieces, but also for a solid carbon fiber card. So
yeah,
that was pretty.
One of our friends opened a box and got I can't remember the name of the player, but he got one of those cards, and yeah, he was like just blown away. Yeah, it was just awesome. Ron over at R&B Sports Cards, he opened that, and oh man, just. Yeah,
that's what we were going. I mean, there's a lot of different textures and feels in that product. So, the way I am, my personality, I step into a situation and I'm kind of like, what can I do to be the most, how can I stand out? So when I came into the card world, I was like, what can I do to make my mark? And I've never seen a solid carbon fiber card before. So it's the first of its kind I know of. I thought they came out pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Did you want to maybe just go back a little bit and talk about your collecting history, and then we'll come back and talk about the product a little bit more?
All right. It's actually really funny too. So growing up, I grew up in Connecticut, and just as a kid, I think it all kind of started with like hand-me-down stuff, and I was just kind of flipping through cards, and it was mostly hockey. And I played hockey at the time. I played hockey growing up all the way through college. So I was just a hockey nerd. For me, it was at the time when I was young, I didn't know like rookie cards and prices and stuff like that. I wasn't really into that at the moment. It was more about flipping on the back, reading the details, and I kind of became a little hockey nerd. Kind of a lot of stats and birthplaces and how to pronounce names, and I think that's definitely something that's stuck with me to this day. all that kind of little nerdy knowledge about some of those, especially the guys in like the 80s, 90s, up to the 2000s was my wheelhouse.
I got a you say you lived in Connecticut.
Yeah.
You got probably 10 teams within a day's drive of you there. Whereas
you got a lot of teams in Connecticut.
yeah. And, here we got growing up, we had the North Stars down in the cities and now the Wild. And, I mean, it would take we could probably get to Chicago and Detroit in a day. But, we don't have, like, who was your team growing up?
Well, so it was funny. As a very little kid, the Whalers were still in town.
Okay.
So I did go see a few of those games. I remember one particular occasion, my whole youth hockey team had went to a game, and it was actually versus the Montreal Canadiens. And I think Patrick Waugh was still with them at the time. And one of my friends, he was a huge Patrick Waugh fan, and they actually lost. And I remember just being like, yeah. Some years later, I came to idolize Patrick Waugh, obviously, because I was a goalie, so I kind of realized how important he was to the game of hockey. But at the time, it was hilarious. But also at the time, I was young. It was the Rangers. They had just won a cup, and that was huge for New York, and that kind of reverberated through the tri-state area. So that's definitely, those guys. Actually, another huge impact that team had on me as a child, and actually growing up throughout Connecticut and becoming an adult and coaching youth hockey, is those guys on the '94 Cup team gave back to not only New York but Connecticut. So a lot of those guys live in Connecticut, and what they do for youth hockey there. I've coached against Richter, I've coached against Messier, I've coached against Drury. So it's been really interesting to see those guys with little kids and just kind of interact with them outside of being a professional hockey player. And they're just great guys. So all the more reason those guys kind of fell into the category of being idols for me.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is. Leach was on that team too, right?
Yeah, Leach. I've never actually met Leach, but he lived actually in Cheshire, Connecticut, where my sister lives. So I know he lived there for some period of time. And it's just all those guys give back to the community so much, and it's great role models. I met Mike Richter in my local hometown rink before I moved out here to join Upper Deck, and he just unbelievably humble guy. And it was funny too, he's very into local government and Going Green initiatives and stuff like that. So, and I didn't know all that at the time, so it was kind of funny to see Mike Richter, of all people. He's walking out of the rink, and I'm going over to say, "Oh my God, you're Mike Richter, a pleasure to meet you." And he's getting into his little Prius, and I was just like, "Oh my God, you should be driving like something unbelievable, man." But, I think he's a humble guy, and yeah.
Oh, that's a great story.
You just talk about how great all these guys are, and that's just like that's one thing. Somehow or this or another, this turned into a hockey conversation, but you just see guys like after interviews or intermission while you're watching a hockey game, and they're always so polite and well spoken and just humble dudes all through and through. Hockey doesn't seem to have the divas and the jerks that other sports do.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we gotta hockey players got to make more money before they can, go on right now this interview. So I think most of them realize that and realize there's still a long way to go to kind of moving the game forward in the mind of the viewers and making it more popular.
It's so fun. They're such nice guys off the ice, but on the ice they'll absolutely
it's like a different persona. And myself, I was a goalie, so I had the full mask, and it's like it's like you're Batman. I mean, the way I always felt going to play hockey is I'm just kind of a tall goofball off the ice. And then when I strap on the pads, it was all business, so two different people completely.
Yeah. So if you want to just kind of go back to the card collecting just a little bit and get us, we'll get up to speed on the products that we're going to talk about today. But, so when did it become more than just reading the backs of cards and kind of got a little more involved for you?
Yeah, I mean, I started as I, got 9, 10 years old. I started getting into packs and opening packs, and I would hit a few cool ones here and there, and then it kind of became, let me grab this blaster box. And I know I think one of the moments that sticks out to me the most is I had a group of friends. We would race down to the local CVS and, scrounge around for some packs, using whatever money we got from wherever. And, and that was kind of before I realized that there was a hobby and retail skew. So I kind of saw all these unbelievable cards in the Beckett magazines. I would flip through the Beckett magazines constantly. I subscribed to it. Like I said, I was a hockey nerd. I became a card nerd. Always had my head in that thing. And, I would see all the cards and think like, oh, this is the same stuff I'm getting in these retail CVS packs. And it took me a few years to realize not the case. But I do remember one specific time I went down, got a pack. It was hockey cards, opened it up, and I pulled a Chris Drury jersey card, which for me was like, you've got to be kidding me. Chris Drury is the hometown boy. I think, back in the early 90s, you ask any hockey player, that was a youth hockey player back then, they're going to say Chris Drury. We remember Chris Drury because he was the Connecticut kid that made it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty it was just big for me. It's just lasting memory for me pulling a Chris Drury jersey card. And then, I kind of, from there, it was like, in a year, I want to have 15 of these jersey cards. And then, hey, I'd like to add an autograph card. And then that was just fuel of fire. And then I think when it really completely took off was 03-04, LeBron's rookie year. My dad and I, I was in high school, was approaching my senior year. My dad and I were just really getting into collecting. It was a hobby for us. And I remember we would go to Cape Cod on vacation. We went to Cape Cod on vacation one year, and it was we were chasing those Topps Finest LeBron redemptions. And it was just, the whole thing stuck us in, and we started buying everything LeBron. I remember we got the LeBron freshman season collection where you get one card from each of the games he had. It was just, we got the last shipment in. It came in like 3 different redemption shipments. We got the last one in, and it had an autograph version in it.
Oh.
So it's just, everything that I've had collecting since then has just been very related to having a relationship with my father, and we've had great memories from it. I remember, one Christmas morning, I would ask for a whole bunch of high-end packs, like an SP Game Used pack he got me one year, and I pulled a Michael Jordan autograph from it. So we still have things that are just, stick with us, and we'll never forget those things. And honestly, it's crazy to think LeBron James is kind of the fire starter behind it.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. And so it's got to be something now where you're kind of responsible for making cards, and you get to see your cards on the shelf and on the on eBay, so to speak, and wherever you see them. It's got to be kind of a weird feeling to go from that end to this end and say, hey, I had something to do with that.
Yeah, definitely. One really kind of unbelievable, it made me feel like, oh man, I found the right spot, was when, I first came to Upper Deck, and the more I started talking to my now boss, Grant Samground, I started to realize that Grant was the person who was responsible for a lot of those Beckett publications that I had my head buried in for years. And then when I put 2 and 2 together, I was like, hey, Grant, I've been reading everything you've been putting out for the last decade. Like, I think I'm in the right spot here. We're collaborating now. You're tutoring me. Like, this is meant to be,
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. It was kind of a cool connection. And then as far as the cards, I mean, it's almost, for me, it's almost like competitive. I see all these cards that I remember wishing I had attained copies of, mostly LeBron rookie cards, which are now just, for me, in the stratosphere. Out of my price range,
Yeah, you and us too.
Yeah, I think most people, unless you're a billionaire, apparently.
Apparently.
But I look to those kind of cards and say, I want to make something that can compete with that. And it's tough because we're hockey versus basketball, but I mean, like for us, we have Lafreniere's rookie year coming up, who's a really big prospect and a spokesman for us. So we are really adamant, I know I am, about trying to make some just designs that are going to blow people away.
Yeah, I think it's really coming through. We watch several channels and we buy several, and just the product is just top notch. I believe, and the one I'm watching, watched a few Stature openings, some Engrained, and people are high praise on those for sure.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's I obviously we always like the positive attention, and who doesn't? But it's really just, it's very satisfying because as much as we get that positive feedback, and we're like, yes, we also, like, I know myself, the single negative feedback, it kind of just sticks right there, and you're like, is that person out of line, or is that a legitimate gripe? So
right.
For anybody watching, like, to think that we aren't active on the forums and seeing that negative feedback and don't take it to heart, we absolutely do. And we definitely have been accustomed to trying to let it slide off of our back a little bit, but we definitely do hear those. So
yeah, and that's good to know, because sometimes you feel like the collector isn't being heard, but it sounds like you guys got your ear to the wall, so to speak, listening and watching and listening. And
we definitely try to get communication and good feedback with not only collectors but distributors. And I think one of the things that's important for me when I'm approaching how to build a product is this going to be a product I want to buy? And if I'm not making a product that I would want to buy, I'm not going to have a lot of confidence in talking about it, promoting it, or even building it. So I really try to approach every product saying, hey, I would want to buy a pack of this, or if not, I understand why you don't want to buy a pack of this. So
sure.
What kind of decisions are you part of? I mean, like, obviously the perfect card is game used material if it's a mim card, and it's on card auto. I mean, obviously you as a collector too, stickers don't look as nice as on card. And when you flip the card over and it says player worn, you're going, which player wore it though? Is it the guy the guy on the front of the card, So I mean,
there's a lot, honestly. Being a collector, as you said, you're like, I want this. Why is everything sticker? And I think a lot of collectors don't really realize that there's a lot of factors that play into why those things are the way they are. It was funny for me coming in. And still now, I mean, if you ask Grant, he would tell you that most often when we approach products, he has to be like, "Whoa, man! Like, you need to reel it in just a little bit," because I'm a high-end guy. That's kind of the part of cards that I like to get into nowadays. So I kind of approach things with that. But you can't have everything high-end all the time. So that's one of the things that I've kind of had to learn to, balance out a product and find each individual way to maximize the collectability of each of those sets. Cool.
I know that 5 or 6 years ago, however long ago it was, whenever I rediscovered the hobby, and I'm like going, they have autographs on cards. They've got patches on cards. I was just buying everything I could.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I immediately got really kind of conditioned to was there's a huge schedule, if you look at the lineup of our products, what's hard sign and what's sticker is very dictated by a schedule. And you see that like some of the products that come out later in the year are hard sign versus sticker. And it has to do a lot with the availability of the athletes. And in sport, it's different, right? And pretty much in basketball, in hockey, it's a similar time frame. So you even kind of see that with basketball and hockey products. A lot of hard sign products are coming out at a similar time frame. So that's just it's a schedule that it's tough to get out of for that reason. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have said that, like even when we asked for feedback or creative feedback, hey, what do you guys not like about this product, or do you like about this product? And everyone turns to SPX and they're like, well, SPX is great. It would be amazing if it was hard sign. It was like, yeah, it would be, but we wouldn't be able to have half the rookies we have in there because we just don't have their availability. So it's a very tricky thing with that. And I think we've kind of got it down to a science at this point of what products could have hard sign and what can't. And I think that just is what it is. And, we try to do our best, but that's just kind of,
I'm sure.
Hard to avoid.
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot there. I just,
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah. So
I don't shy away from tough questions.
So I think we'll look at each of the three that you had mentioned that you were involved with here. Engrained, I know, has been out for a little bit now. And I've been really looking at the rookie signature shots. I picked up a few of those. I really like those. And obviously the synthesis cards are amazing. I haven't bought one yet. I haven't opened any of the product. So I buy singles on this one. But the carved in time looks really interesting too. Just all of it. And the Distinguished Marks 101s, I haven't seen one yet. So now I'm going to have to go eBay surfing to see what one of those looks like. But all of it just looks really great. And I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit, and then we'll go to the other ones.
Yeah, Engrained was kind of like my introduction to a mainstream hockey product. It was kind of the first product I had been a part of for hockey that released. So that was kind of my baby. I really put a lot into that. A lot of work went into that, and I think it showed. I think the cards came out cool. The inserts came out cool. One thing I really want to kind of provide there was just the different types of feels. Like me being a hockey player, being from around the game, there's so many types of feels and textures to that I wanted to incorporate into cards, because when you're flipping through cards, that's what you have to connect you to the sport, right? It's either the photograph, the autograph, or the actual feel. So that's kind of what I wanted to go for. We have wood in there. We have the carbon fiber. We have obviously regular C2S cards, but even the look of them, I think, one of the cards I'm proudest of, I think just for my whole duration here so far at Upper Deck, is the honorary engravings cards, which have the engraved nameplate in a solid wood card. For me, as I said, a hockey nerd I really just wanted to find a way to tie in something that could become a set building thing.
Yeah,
that pays honor to all these epic Hall of Fame players on these epic trophies, because in my mind, and I've been to the Hockey Hall of Fame, I've seen a bunch of the trophies, hands down, coolest awards out of any sport around. And there's so much history behind each one of the trophies. So I just wanted to capture that on those cards. And like I said, hopefully there's some set builders out there of those. And yeah,
for sure. So I think we're gonna talk about Stature last, because I actually bought a box. And I'll let you know it's my first hobby box that I've ever opened personally. I've opened a box for a group of friends, but this is my first hobby box. So I'm kind of excited about that. But the other one is the Ultimate Collection, and it's sitting over here on the side. I can't believe I haven't opened it yet. But yeah, Ultimate Collection. I know you mentioned that, and that's coming out soon. I looked at the pre-sale a little bit. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so a lot kind of went into Ultimate Collection the last few years, mostly from a design perspective. I think that was kind of the biggest takeaway. I really kind of wanted to give that brand a facelift, and some of the ideas I had and mock-ups I had combined with the work of Aaron Masick. He's one of the top designers on our team. He's unbelievable. I and one of our master designers, Neil Johnson, we just knocked it out of the park, I think, with Ultimate. For me, it was really just facelifting it and bringing those true rookie autographs back. Like, again, I looked at the LeBron, and it's just a nice, clean card with an autograph, and that's what we wanted to get back to. I think those cards came out really nice. And then, some of the inserts, my favorite ones are Ultimate Access and Ultimate Icons. I really wanted to focus on some awesome photography. I think that's one of the things, especially when I was young, Upper Deck cards always had, you would find unique photography of guys doing goofy stuff or goofy angles or unique angles. And you don't see a lot of that with autograph cards or memorabilia cards. So it's kind of the spin I wanted to take on the Ultimate Access cards. And I think the one in our gallery or preview solicitations that have gone out is like Jack Eichel, the patch autograph. And it's just, those are the types of cards that they are, just great photography. And then the Ultimate Icons, basically just made to highlight some really unbelievable, iconic moments throughout hockey history. I think, last year we had like the Gretzky shooting his 802 goal, and Quick making a ridiculous glove save in like Game 6 of the playoffs or something. So just really amazing photography and memorabilia. So
that's going to be a fun one.
Oh yeah.
So I want to get started on this Stature. Do you want to talk a little bit about it? I'll get set up over on the side here.
Yeah, Stature is a really cool one for us. It's kind of a new substrate for us. You may have seen it elsewhere throughout the hobby, but in our calendar, in our lineup, this is a new substrate for us, and we're really happy with the way the cards turned out, and we're excited. And I could already tell you that we have designs. The product is already built. We have designs going. It's obviously not printed yet. We have designs going for next year's Stature, and it looks even better. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, the cards they really pop. They look great. On-card autographs. A lot of rookies, a lot of parallels. That's the thing. We didn't. You get the autograph per box, but we really wanted to try to drive collectors to say, hey, this is an awesome parallel card, low numbered, great technology, and in just a nice, clean rookie card. I wish Carter Hart had a rookie card from this set.
So I'm going to share the screen so I can show the opening here.
Hey, what's going on? It's Road to 1,000 giveaway time again, guys.
Yes. This time we have a retail box of Upper Deck SP hockey. You can find one autograph, jersey, or number chase card per box. It's a fun little rip. I ripped one myself. And for this giveaway, in the comments below, comment below that Kevin collects Carson Kuhlman. That's going to be the key for you to get entered into the giveaway when we randomize it. If you have that comment in there, it'll count. If you don't have it in the comment, we'll move on to the next one.
And we'll do that in 1 week.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely.
I got the box right here. I am just going to give a quick shout out to my local card shop, Collectors Connection. Aaron up there helped me out get in this box. And we'll get into it. Like I said, we don't open very often, but you can go check out all the odds and all that fun stuff. And great looking box. I know that for sure. All right. So
hopefully, the look, the feel of the cards, you should see it right off the bat that they're a nice premium feel of the cards.
Oh, yeah. So I know people like to do this. Oh, Jack Eichel, speaking of.
Yeah, you got the base of Jack Eichel there.
Nice.
Nice card.
And that looks slick.
Yeah, and you definitely something to him, you know.
Yeah, that's what we were going for. In the so the deco foil actually sits under the top sheet, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It worked really nice for our autographs. A lot of times if players foil, so this was a nice addition for us.
Oh, cool. See, now this would be a hit for us because it's our wild.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, there, Matt Dumba.
Yeah, that's a cool card. Yeah. Oh man, these things are great.
So it's a little hard to pick up too on the camera, but there is a little bit of pattern in that background.
Yeah.
I had to ring the hit bell.
Yeah, the camera doesn't. I see it, but the camera is not picking it up. I got my light probably too much on it.
It takes they photograph decently, so
yeah, cool.
It's tough to see on camera though.
Dumba doesn't have as much background as Eichel does.
Oh, this one, you can see it a little bit better in this one here.
There you go. You got your Rasmus Sandin rookie. What's up there? 299.
Yeah. Oh, and it's numbered to $3.99.
Okay.
Shout out to Nick, our buddy. He opens a lot of hockey, and the Maple Leafs are his team.
There you go.
Yeah.
These
things are so nice. I got a green coming up.
We got an esteemed green parallel Ryan O'Reilly. Nice.
Yeah. About a 99. Nice.
So you could see the background, that pattern picks up really nicely on the esteemed.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then has a little story on the back. Very nice.
All right, we got a rookie.
Yeah,
rookie border variant.
Oh, yeah. Boy, it's so shiny. I got to take it over to the side here. I can't see what the number is out of. Can you read that? 85, maybe?
85 or 61?
Yeah, 85, I think. Oh, that's
How do you guys come up with these crazy numbers that they come out of?
There's a variety of things. I mean, some insert sets and some rookie cards, rookie autograph cards. They've had a cadence of numbering that we don't want to break. Like the ultimate. No way! Look at you guys got. That's awesome.
Yeah, wild auto.
There you go. A nice little Eric.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Eric Stahl.
Yeah.
He's a
great auto with the number 12 on the back.
I don't know where he's from, but they call him one of us. Which
Thunder Bay.
He's from Ontario.
Okay, so yeah, when they say one of us, that means he's pretty local.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure where he lives, but
if he's from Thunder Bay is only a 4 hours drive from here?
Probably. Oh, that is so cool.
It's right past the Canadian border from
there's
us.
Patrick Raw.
Oh, nice. You got the border variant of Patrick Raw there.
82 out of 85. Oh, that's a great looking card. That's Bill from Ron and Bill. Isn't he the Canadians guy?
Yep.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh, the wrong Bruin for me. Rookie Reliance. That's cool, though.
Nice. Yeah, and again, it's tough to see. There's actually on the color parallels to those, there is a nice
yeah,
to that background. It's a little tough to see on camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had better lighting situation because you can definitely see it. That's so cool. All right. McKenzie.
Oh, wow. I like that little is that a little window that
with the team logo?
Yeah.
So actually, what happens there is we have patch autograph versions of these cards, so that actually turns into a patch swaps where the team logo is.
Okay, that's cool. Is that a window, or does it just look like a window? Wow,
it would turn into a window.
It looked like a window from here. It looked like just a little.
Yeah, it's probably because of how shiny the cards are.
Yeah.
Out of flat.
That was fun.
Yeah, I looked down and it's the same exact as this Bruin card, but that little St. Louis blue emblem looked like it was in a shadow box.
Yeah,
a little shadow box almost.
Yeah, I'll say too.
I mean, that's the
it's a success when our hit is the auto wild card.
Yeah, fitting, huh? That's awesome. I'm glad you guys pulled
That's awesome. Yeah. Those are great looking.
Yeah,
man. A lot of good feel to them. Oh man.
Yeah, that's what we're looking. You know, even the base cards, they got a good look, good feel to them. So even if you're a player collector or team, even set collectors, we're kind of hoping that this would be one of those sets that you say, hey, this is really a nice premium feel. I'm going to go out and get my rookie or maybe complete my set.
For sure.
I know a lot of people are just never can say enough good things about Upper Deck. They're like, man, I wish Upper Deck was still making football. Man, I wish Upper Deck was still making basketball. Upper Deck has to say, I wish you guys would be hockey fans.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely do feel a little, not we, but like hockey, you definitely feel a sense of a little bit of underappreciation from the sports collectors. And it's really interesting because, you kind of look at the values, and I think for a lot of the rookie card, like if you take the young guns, for example, if you look at the young guns who are valuable out of the gate versus the prices that those same young guns are at the end, you'll see guys who were $3-4. All of a sudden, those guys are $9-10 guys. So I think you see a lot more of that in hockey because you have to wait. I think in the end, in a lot of other sports, basketball, football, you kind of see these guys and they most likely kind of start to materialize right away or start to dematerialize right away.
Right.
With hockey guys, you have to give them that 2-3 years. It's very rare that he steps onto the scene. Everyone thinks that they're going to be an Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
And come out and score 4 goals in your first game.
Right.
Absolute. Like, we were watching that at Upper Deck, and we were like, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing that can possibly happen. But, that's not the reality of every year. You're going to have to wait on these guys to make an impact. And, I think you're going to start to see that. So I really wish that more collectors, sports collectors of other sports, football, basketball, would realize, hey, these young guns or other hockey cards, there's potential there to make a buck or to have price fluctuations and get in at a good point and select the right person and still, have things trend up.
Go ahead.
Did he score those? Did they still lose that game?
I thought they won.
I'm not sure if that fourth goal he scored won him the game or they still lost. I cannot remember. I know that. I remember that. I think I was deep into the Wild at that time. Like, it was season opener, and my kid and his girlfriend were actually living here. I'm watching the first game of the Wild, and I'm pounding on the floor when the Wild score a goal. And my kid's like, geez, Dad, it's not even the playoffs yet. First game of the season. And, that's just what hockey does to you. Like, when they score a goal, it's like you're the auditorium's shaking that you feel like your whole house is shaking, I love the energy of hockey. It's
funny you said that thing about playoff hockey, too, because, I know as a hockey fan, in my mind, it's like, all right, yeah, the hockey season started, but then there's also playoff hockey season started. Yeah. That's a whole nother sport. It's like, just everybody picks up their game. You're on pins and needles the whole game. It could be game one, and you're like, oh my God, is the cup coming out tonight? It's like, it's just game one. But
right.
Every shift matters so much. Come Stanley playoff time.
Yeah,
it's really amazing too. You talk to if you ever have the opportunity to talk to some of those retired players, or just any professional player that's had some duration in the league, or kind of hear these guys talk about it in a video, documentary, whatever interview, they just, even being in the playoffs, like they realize, hey, I only maybe have this shot once, So I think, especially those veteran players, they don't take it for granted at all.
Right. Well, we want to be respectful of your time. I'm just going to touch on this question from one of our friends. We reached out and asked if anybody wanted to ask any questions. And Mike at Mellow Cards, you kind of touched on it already, but it's just good to hear that you guys are like paying attention to the forums and the criticism and the positivity. You take it all in, and it's like you said, it's a balancing act. But I just wanted to say that we already kind of touched on it, and I wasn't ignoring his question, or anything like that. But yeah, I don't think we have to go too much into it because you answered that. But did you want to have a minute here just to talk about whatever you want to talk about, product, anything in general, and then we'll kind of wrap it up and let you go here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see what we got coming. I know we got obviously Ultimate Collection, but we also have Goodwin Champions coming out soon. That's going to be a great set. My buddy Tony worked on that one. So again, Jordan, LeBron autographs coming out. So I know a really nice. I know there's a really nice insert set focused around Jordan's. It was actually the final game Jordan played in the Chicago Stadium, which was like a charity game. So that was really cool. We have an insert set that's kind of focused around that, and some, I believe it's game used 4. I want to say from that game. I could be wrong, but I believe there's some relic pieces from that. Wow. Always a lot of weird stuff in Goodwin. A lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm in general, I'm super pumped about next year, 2020, 21. I think, what a lot of people don't realize is how far in advance we build these products. So most of our 2021 calendar is already built. We have to print them and put the cards together, but thematically and creatively, a lot of those sets are already made, and they look great. Obviously, with Lafreniere's rookie year, we're really excited to see what that dude brings. It was kind of, I don't know if you guys have followed all the draft lottery. Did you see how that ended?
No.
So the final pick, whoever gets to have the number 1 overall pick, actually comes from a pool of the losers from the first round of the playoff play-in series that they're doing.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a whole added, prize basically to this whole playoff round. And it's almost like, well, I'm in the playoff round, but we're going up against the Penguins. Do I
right.
throw this one, go for the overall, number 1 overall pick? But it's excited to see how the playoffs play out, and excited to see, he's probably, I almost guarantee he's going to be the number 1 pick. So we're very excited on Upper Deck to see where he goes, and very excited about featuring him on cards.
Perfect. Well, we want to thank you very much for joining us. We had a great time talking with you, a lot of great stories, and hopefully we can have you on again real soon.
Yeah.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, guys. I think, as I said before we, speak a little bit before we came on, it's guys like you and shows that like yours that are very important, I think, for collectors to have a safe place to go where they know they could trust the people talking on the other end. So I want to thank you guys and support you guys, and hope to see many more of your episodes.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
JT.
All right. If you want to hold on 1 second, we'll just bring it to a close, and we'll let you go. That'll bring episode 131 with JT from Upper Deck Sports to a close.
Skull Brothers out.